Hi, friends. It's me, host Eric, host of Talking to Famous People, and I'm here with a sort of famous person in the room, and we're talking about the reality of trolls and people we have been dealing with regarding the channel and stuff like that. So, what do I mean by that? Well, we have a couple of people. One of them is Osiris, and one of whom is Roman Empire, who has been blocked and are attempting to, I don't know, make a fuss or something. But I just had another extended conversation with Osiris, who came back in despite being blocked, who went out of his way to, lie to me again, and feels as though that gives him a victory of some sort. So that's why I left with a heavy heart at the end of that last video. Is I think I realized there's some people who, for one reason or another, either can't or won't be honest in dealing with people. And I'm honest in dealing with them, and I don't receive honesty in return. And so when that happens, I'm being defrauded, and that's not okay. Now, I know they're not being honest because, well, after giving me his most heartfelt, Eric, I'm sorry, I will try not, I will be honest with you from now on. Then when I left the room, I'm saying I left with a heavy heart, he said, haha, I win, which is to be noted as simply him being as effectively dishonest as he could and feeling as though somehow tricking me with his dishonesty is a win. Well, I see dishonesty in Roman Empire's comment as well. I was reading it a little while ago, and he talks about an event that happened, which did happen. He did get kicked. I thought it was the case that I wasn't sure I was blaming the right person, and I apologize for jumping to conclusions. But that's the thing. I apologize for jumping to conclusions. I was not. You position it here as I was scared to deal with you because you were on camera now. But that's simply not the case. You know that's not the case, and it's dishonest. And as I've said to you, you're a douchebag. You're not acting. You're not. Your presence doesn't make things better. It makes things worse. That's what it boils down to. And there's nothing more to it than that. Now, when Homie came in, Osiris earlier, he was talking about Saren making a channel and there being a coup of some sort and blah, blah, blah. Well, look, my position on all that stuff is the same as it's always been. Anybody's welcome to do whatever the fuck they want. But you're not welcome to come in here and just sort of trash the place for the purpose of exercising your spite. I don't know what motivates you, but I would urge you to step back, take a look at how much time and energy you're devoting to what can only be deemed malicious mischief. And the thing is, note as well, you might feel as though this video means you got some sort of win out of it because I'm taking it seriously. I guess, but you need to remember you're always going to lose that war of attrition. You're going to put more time into harming me than it's going to take us to get rid of you again. And to the extent that this is interesting, it helps the channel. as long as we manage to not be sufficiently disrupted by it, it's not a problem so much as it is an asset. So look, I mean, it's interesting to see this evolve for me, and this is part of the evolution of things. Naturally occurring policing of the system. And Roman Empire and Osiris, I don't like you. That's reason enough to not have you here. Anybody else have any comments?
Well, I know that Osiris has been like having a pretty tough attitude since he's, I don't know, sort of trying to, I don't know, maintain some image that might have worked for him earlier on. Maybe it's just some immature FIFE thing, I don't know, but it's like he isn't that humble in that sense. Not to say like being humble, but it's just like maintaining some sort of self-image. But I do, however, think that banning him right now that Stu did was not justified.
Well, it has been a pattern with him. Well, not long
Yeah,
ago,
but he
his
has
case
also
contributed to, I hear myself,
to
Yeah.
discussions.
You guys are both have terrible audio. I can barely hear either of you guys.
That's
That's
where's
the people come from.
better.
Yeah.
Right.
oh yeah.
No, but
Well,
I can hear. I can hear you, Susanna. You weren't a problem. The two guys I can't hear.
Can you
Can
hear
you
me
hear me
now?
now?
Do you have two windows open? No, you don't. There's something wrong with your audio.
Refresh. Oh, okay.
Is it better now?
A little
It's
bit.
No.
Not
Mute your
much.
mic.
Den är mute.
Nej.
No. Right. Okay. Can you hear me?
Sorta.
Sort
Low
of.
volume.
Okay.
Low volume.
Listen, I don't want to deal with that right now. We're in the middle of making this video. Now I'm gonna have to edit it. God damn it. Maybe not. Let's try to pull this out of the fire here. That's not really fair, says this circle. And let's be honest with yourself, sometimes you make these things personal. It's just contrary trolling. It's what I described it as. Can you mute, please? Who is that that's making all that noise? It's Neptune. No, it's not. Okay. Anyway,
Can I say something?
yeah, go ahead.
Not long ago, this place wasn't moderated at all, and the pattern which caused him to get banned has been a problem ever since he came in here. And as soon as someone called him out for trolling, he just turned around and he was nice for 5 minutes. So it's not something new. The only thing that's new is that he has been on microphone instead of chat. And the night Roman Empire got banned, I was there. And it wasn't that he got banned for no reason. He was there, he was on his own account. There was a huge argument, and the account that was banned was the person trolling. If it was Roman Empire or not, that's still the account that got banned. And if that was his account, it's his problem.
That's true. Okay, I want to talk about this every right to be a dick thing. They have every right to be a dick to a point, but they have a responsibility to be honest. You can be a dick up to a point until your honesty requires you to acknowledge you're just being too much of a dick, right? And if I can't trust them to not go 180, then I can trust nothing they say. They're not meaningfully treating me. They're not treating me like a human being. They're saying, I won't deal with you in good faith. I can't rely upon them to deal with me in good faith. They're liars. It's this simple. It's not like they have every right to be a dick. Well, they don't have every right to tell me lies. and have me act upon those lies metaphysically as though they were truth, even though they know they're lies. Right?
Yes, another thing is that he actually got a fair chance yesterday. He even got the chance to be moderator for a few minutes. And what did he do? He went completely idiot and just tried to cause as much problem as possible.
Right.
Can you
So
hear me?
he got every chance to prove himself, and he didn't. He just
Okay.
took it and
And I want to address this thing, Neptune. I couldn't disagree with you more. I couldn't disagree with you more. I mean, the fact is, we know what we. I know what I'm dealing with. And these two people are constitutionally dishonest. It's that simple. Am I going to be able to articulate particular rules that we can check against? Fuck no. There's no reason to. We don't need rules because we don't have to ban any decent people. We only have to ban scoundrels. And banning scoundrels is a good thing. There's no reason to permit people that are dishonest to talk to us because we can't trust what they're saying at all. They're just here to cause fuckery. Well, I mean, it's a case by case basis. I don't know what to tell you.
It seems like the only big issue is just disruption caused within the community in a unfruitful way, like a very malicious, dishonest way, and instead of like disruption where it would be to bring out thinking. You know what I mean? Like you can disrupt things and not just troll. Trolling is just malicious and just intended to ruin the harmony of the community at the moment for the sake of ruining it.
Right. And if you try to call them out on anything, they just continually shift ground and deny all culpability and troll. You know, they're wasting.
Well, yeah, because it continues it.
They are metaphysical thieves, and they're scoundrels. They deserve to be condemned, not defended, because keeping in mind, we don't have a systemic problem of people coming that we have to ban. We have a situation where we've got a couple of people who are causing a lot of problems and need to be banned. I don't anticipate a systemic flood of bad people. I think that probably all the blankies are comprised of those two and maybe Saren. I don't know. I have no reason to suspect Saren except what douchebag said, and I certainly don't trust him. No, it can't be okay with good FE. Well, Neptune, I mean, Jacob, the point is that I don't anticipate blocking people. We don't need to make a rule to justify blocking people because it should be an extraordinary situation. I'm not in the mood. I'm not interested in blocking people, but I can tell, and that those people. I mean, we are holding ourselves to not a high standard. We're holding ourselves to too low a standard to think that we need to apply some sort of TE protocol to know when douchebags are douchebags and fucking boot their asses.
I understand. I think the problem is that it feels like kind of an intuitive thing, like you're just declaring somebody is trolling instead of joking and the sort. But again, it's like after a certain point, I think like these people didn't just come in once and do this, and there's a lot of data to go off of whether or not they're actually joking or if they're just trying to be dicks to fuck up the community. Reading what they're saying.
My point is that if he wants to argue a position as devil's advocate, fine. Then he needs to say, okay, I'm arguing the position as devil's advocate, and he needs to accept his ass kicking, right? He can't he can't pretend like, I wasn't really debating you. I was never playing the whole time. I was just fucking with you. No, sorry. That's called not treating the other person with basic human dignity. He does not afford me basic human dignity, then I afford him no room here. Now, there's no rule, Neptune. Why do you insist there be a rule? There is no rule. The rule is evil people don't get to come here. Fuckheads aren't allowed. There's no definition of it. It's something that we have to deal with when it arises. If we try to make a rule, we're creating a potentiality that don't even exist.
Okay, well, there should at least be warnings then, because then people are going to end up stepping on lines that haven't been established, and then they get kicked out.
But
in every case, there has been warnings.
You are making a slippery slope argument, Neptune. That's not true.
Am I?
Yeah, because just because these two got booted doesn't mean, and I'm telling you, I won't affix a clear referenceable standard. You're going to say, well, therefore you're going to make increasingly arbitrary decisions until people just get booted for no reason. Because what you're saying is, so people step on the lines accidentally and get booted. That's the point, is that these fuckers have established clearly to me their nature, okay? And that's the issue. It's not like we have to have a rule for potential behavior problems. It's a identity problem. These are bad people. They're constitutionally dishonest. They're constitutionally dishonest.
I don't have a strong opinion either way. I mean, it's your room. I'm just saying what could make it more practical, maybe, but it's obviously not more practical in your eyes. So,
well, I appreciate your input. I'm not trying to pull rank. I'm just saying I really think it's better to assume we're not going to ever have to block anybody again, and if we do, deal with that case as it arises. And look, the thing is, I'm not opposed to being challenged on the decision to block people if everyone's like, hey, that's not fair or whatever. But in this instance, I have plenty of experience with both those two to know now what they're like. And Osiris openly said in the last conversation that he was specifically out to do damage, basically.
Yeah, and I think the concern that people accidentally fall into this, oh, I messed up, I didn't know this was a bad thing, is kind of, it's not, from what I've seen, it's based off of more than just one occasion. You know, if you fucked up once, you're not going to get banned from what I've seen. You know, it's more of like, after a long time of people understanding what you're about, then okay, you're just trying to fuck us up, you know? I don't think people accidentally get banned. It's a little lenient here.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, it's a matter of I think it's very telling that both those guys are still spending a lot of time on the outskirts, since they're not able to get in here, commenting in comments, going to the other room, whatever. And what does that tell me? It tells me that they obviously can't be trusted. You know, they're hanging around complaining a lot and bitching and moaning. And this place is awful. You guys are so hypocritical. Well, then fucking go away. If it's so awful and we're so hypocritical and we're so unfair, then go away from us. We are not holding you here against your will. I already talked to Audra about it, and Audra already told me what one of them said to her, and I found it unacceptable right that alone. Because they're decent human beings and they're fucking assholes, all right? Sweden needs to learn this. You got to be able to identify assholes and say fuck you and put them down and put your fucking boot on their neck. No neutrality towards assholes.
Right?
I mean, she told me about her or him, I think it was Osiris, who was insulting her physical appearance and stuff. I find that unacceptable. It's a personal attack designed to hurt people where they're vulnerable for no reason other than to cause the harm. It's malicious, it's malignant to a community, and it's morally unacceptable. It doesn't matter. And the other thing is, it doesn't matter what Audra says about whether she thinks it was okay for him to say that. It wasn't objectively, and that's it. I'm not going to expend energy trying to fix the evil. They're going to go suffer. The thing is, of course, it's not easy to get banned. Yeah, exactly. He's been allowed to run around plenty. It's ridiculous. Don't take his... There's no point in responding to him or dealing with him. He's only going to try to cause discord. He thinks he's going to be effective, and he will be if we don't go entirely on offense. There's no reason to defend people who are actively malicious towards our well-being as a community. I mean, they're textbook villains, you know? They're extremely bitter. And they get what little pleasure they can from life from destroying things that seem better than they.
I think this was pretty well spoken. Actually, no.
Yeah, look, if you want to engage him about what he did, he'll always have some facile excuse or facile words. But that's the thing, you can't trust his words. It doesn't matter if he sounds authentic or not. He's already displayed a willingness to go turn on a dime and prove that he wasn't. Prove that see, haha, I tricked you, haha. It won't be tolerated. He's a coward. He's a coward. His coward. There's a rule for Neptune. He's not here anymore. Cowards.
He has turned 3 times in less than 24 hours. At least, which I know about.
Yeah. There you go. That's cowardice. That's rank cowardice. So that's the end of that. Yeah. You guys can put all the energy you want into it. It's going to take you a lot of time. Not going to take very long to boot you. We're not going to give you any more chances to come on and talk. So both you guys, fuck off, and I don't give a fuck about you.